Welcome back. In our 500 channel segment tonight, we're clicking on to the contender. Joining us is last night's contender knockoff, Tarick Salmaci, along with boxing legend Roy Jones Jr., who stuck around. Tarick, I know he's a hero of yours. Roy, Tarick gave it his all against Juan the other night. I mean, he left nothing in the ring. What advice do you give a young man coming off a tough defeat like that?
Well, the first thing you have to do is make up your mind, and that defeat can teach you a lot. That's the beginning of really acknowledging whether you want to be a fighter or not. Because when you lose, it gives you hunger either to go back in there and regain that and recapture victory, or it tells you that I ain't built for this, so you stay out. Although you lost, it doesn't mean nothing. You're just starting out. It's not a bad thing. All of us have losses, and even the great ones lose. That doesn't mean nothing. But you got to stay strong, keep your spirit up, and always talk to God and ask God what should be your next move.
Tarick, how are you feeling after the fight?
I feel great. I feel great. I mean, I appreciate Roy's advice. Roy, you've been a hero to me growing up, to a lot of us fighters. I mean, you're a good example for us because, you know, you've taken boxing and you've done things outside of boxing, and you've used boxing to help you do that. And hopefully, you know, we can all do the same thing. And, you know, you're right about one thing. It's either going to make you hungry, the loss, or going to say, you know what, I want to do other things. And this loss actually made me hungrier, and I'm not finished. You know, I'll be back.
And that's good.
Hopefully, you know, I'll get voted back for the finale. Hopefully, America votes me back and gives me another opportunity at this because, you know, I did have a long layoff. It was like a 3.5-year layoff before the show. My timing was off. And when you get to world-class competition, that split-second timing means a lot. So, I mean, with the guy fighting Juan, he was coming there fast, throwing a lot of punches. You got to have good timing to catch him coming in. It was a real close fight, which could have gone either way, but unfortunately he got the decision, but I'll be back.
Hey, Roy, I want to ask you a question, and Tarick, the same question also. Obviously, incredibly masculine sport, for lack of it. I know obviously women fight, but when you win a fight, when you are a world champ, you are the toughest guy around. I was talking to Foreman last week, and he said the feeling after you lose is the opposite. You think everybody's looking at you, oh, you lost, and reality is you put your life on the line there, so it's anything but that. But what does it feel like as a man after you lose a fight publicly and everybody's watching you get pummeled, Roy?
Well, sometimes it feels like it's almost like you got a weakness to some degree. You start, the devil try to make you come in and doubt yourself, make you feel like you can't make it, or you're not good enough, or you did something wrong, or you made a bad decision somewhere, or you try to find things to blame it on. But in all actuality, as a real man, when you come back and look at it, you got to realize these books were written before we got here. We're supposed to do all we can to prepare ourselves to do the best that we can do, but you can't change what God's destiny already is, what God's destination already is. Don't worry about that. You go back, you get stronger, because just like he gave you a loss, he gave you a loss for the same reasons he gave you a bunch of victories. It's always a reason he does what he does. Our job is to go in, prepare for what we think we should be preparing for, and do the best we can.
Tarick?
However it comes, nothing we can do about it.
Tarick, how are you feeling after all?
I mean, I agree with Roy. You know, what's important is, you know, it's always the loss is bigger to you because it's you who's losing. You know, people get over it away, but it's you. You got to live with it every day. But you got to use that to fuel your hunger to do better the next time.
Every one of the knockoffs I've had has said, and on the show, that they were in there for their family. And then on some level, they felt they let their family down, which is, of course, crazy. What did your wife say to you right after the fight?
I mean, I had all the support and love from my wife before and after the fight. And, I mean, yeah, we're fighting for our families, of course. You know, whatever you do in life, you're doing for your family. Whether it's boxing, whether it's working from 9 to 5 somewhere, you do it for your family. So I was in there to win for my family and so that we can have a better life. And, you know, a lot of times things don't go your way, but you just got to come back stronger.
Roy,
and a lot of times you find out who really is on your side and who's not behind the loss, because a lot of those people who are just there for the victory will fall by the wayside when you lose, but the ones who really care and love you will still be there.
Roy, you missed the ring at all?
You see,
I missed the ring a lot, but I'm not going to go back until I'm hungry enough to go back.
Now, when you see some of these fighters, I mean, Foreman fought till I think he was in his early 50s. Do you think it's crazy guys past a certain age getting in the ring?
Nope, because certain guys can handle that. Now, guys that are already showing signs of deterioration should stay out of the ring. Somebody should advise them or make it a rule for them not to be able to go back in the ring. But guys who are not showing signs of deterioration should be allowed to fight as long as they want to. I mean, look at George. Had they denied him the opportunity to fight, he wouldn't have come back and made history. Now he's probably one of the oldest guys to ever come back, especially in this day and time, and win the heavyweight championship of the world. It was almost thought to be impossible.
Guys, I really appreciate Tarick. Continued success, man. I hope you get back on the show. Champ, thanks for being here.
Thank you, man.
We got more Big Idea coming. Don't go anywhere.
Who are you? I'm your mother with conscience. That's nonsense. Go in, gap.